Can you knit a summer top with no pattern? And will it actually look good on different body types? Well, I gave it a try, and today you'll see the results on both me and my daughter. So grab your cup of tea, coffee, whatever you like, and come along and have a giggle with me and gain some knit inspiration. Who knows? You might be casting on your own no pattern top by the end of this video.
Hi everybody. Welcome back to my channel, my knitting channel. I have 3 channels. 2 seniors camping, which was the first channel that took off and it's monetized. This channel, where I used to do knitting episodes on my other channel, and I separated the two because that's what everybody seemed to want. And that's fine. I didn't mind that. And so the knitting channel, and then I have the grandma's channel, Always Expect the Best, which is, and that's the name of it, Always Expect the Best, which is my, I'm going to put out whatever I want to put out there. And sometimes people enjoy it especially when I put out a senior moment. So I finished 2 tops, and I'm working on a 30-day, not a challenge, but just a 30-day knitting that I'm going to do, where I'm going to knit 3 tops within the 30 days. So we'll see how we progress on that, but that's a future episode. Now this one is about knitting the basic tee, I guess. And I finished this one. It's in the picnic cotton, peekaboo. And I started from the bottom and I worked my way up. And I used to say 14 inches was good. That's good for a short top. Like the one I'm wearing is actually 14 inches from underarm to the bottom. At the bottom. And actually they're both knit in the picnic cotton. No, this is, I love this cotton from Hobby Lobby. This one's picnic cotton by Pearl Soho. And there is no pattern except for the pattern that I make up. Knowing the basics, so I knew that I needed to cast on a certain number of stitches, knit up so far, divide the front and back stitches, knit the front up, knit the back, nothing special. I do, when I'm separating my stitches, I do put more stitches in the front. For example, the top I'm working on now has 210 stitches, so I've got 100 for the back and 110 for the front. I do some increases. See the slight shaping here when it gets to the underarm. In this case, I've decreased and gone in. On other tops, I actually increase. I don't have one of those with me right now, but to do the cap sleeve top, I would increase maybe 1 stitch on the knitting side for about 4 rows. I did this, but I mean this. So, and in this case, I decreased every other row. So when I got to a knit row, I decreased 1 on each side, then purl back, decrease, and I did that about 4 times. And I find that works pretty well, pretty good for me. And then you continue knitting straight until you get the length that you want. I found that I think this one's 7. I'm thinking that maybe 8 inches is pretty good. Now this top that I'm wearing, this was actually a pattern, and you can see the armhole is like too far down for me. Fortunately, I'm wearing a somewhat complimentary bralette. So, and then I used to finish my edges with crochet. Now I just do the I-cord edging, which I really like. And it's actually really easy to do. So I did that on the arms as well, the I-cord edging. A little bit harder to see this way, but gives it a finished look. Now, when I tried this one on, first of all, I had my daughter try it on. She's 41 and super slim, not like me. And I'll show you that video where she tried it on and then where I tried it on. And the same top fits us both, but fits us differently. For her, it is a very loose fitting top. For me, it's form fitting. Let's put it that way. So in hindsight, I wished I actually had cast on more stitches. I think I did about 180 something stitches for this one, which is short of my usual 210, but knowing I've made other tops with this picnic cotton and it stretches. So the other pink and burgundy top I made, they've stretched quite a bit. So they're very loose and roomy, which is great on a warm summer day. You've got the cotton, which is breathable, nice breathing fabric for your body, and it catches the breeze. This one wouldn't catch the breeze. So what I did though is when I first tried it on, I decided it was a little bit too short for me. So I picked up the stitches at the bottom and I just did some straight knitting and then knit and purl. I don't even know what I've done, but something. I just added an extra inch or so, which is all I needed on the bottom. So it's a very stretchy fabric. Which is why it fits my daughter and fits me. I I asked her if she would like to keep it, if she wanted it. She liked it. She said it was really comfortable, but she said no. I'll get it when you pass away. I'm like, really? That's going to be a long time, and it might be worn out and gone by then. She's cute. Okay, so then the second one. Originally, I had bought this yarn, this wool. It's a merino, and I can't even remember the name on it. But originally, I was making a shawl with this eyelet pattern, and then I realized, I'm probably not going to wear a shawl that often with this color. So I decided to make it into a top, which I did. So this one actually is longer from the underarm down. And you want to know what that measurement is. And I've probably said this before, but if you take a garment that fits you well, something that you really like, let's say even a t-shirt, and you measured the length, then you know how far to knit your top. So again, I cast on stitches on the bottom and worked my way up. And I did the lattice work, and I was going to do the whole thing lattice work. And I got thinking, nah, probably I'd end up just wearing it over a bathing suit or something because it's so see-through. So I thought, well, I'll just leave that on as a design. And I went into a straight knitting. And I used circular needles for the bottom portion. And I worked my way up. I got a little hair from the wool on my nose. And then again, I decreased I separated my front and back, and then I had to do knit and purl. And I decreased for the underarm shaping. And again, I think now I'm thinking with my tops, I think 8 inches is good. This is a 7-inch, and it works. Like it fits nice. But I think I would just like a little bit more room, somewhere between, what this is and this one. So, and I just knit up. And again, I do a bit of decreasing around the neck, just one row of decreasing gives a little bit of shaping in the back. Now for the front, when I was working it up, I went so far and then I cast off 35 stitches, I think it was, in the center. And then I decreased a little bit on the edge of each neck and then this part was just straight at that point. And then I measured my, what do you call that? It's not a caplet, eplet. Anyways, you know what I'm saying. Is this a senior moment or do I just not know? So anyway, so the front portion of the top, I knitted up and then I decreased slightly until I had about 25 stitches across. And that's, it's a variable. It's what you want. This is 20 stitches across. And actually, now that I know how to do I-cord edging, I might do some of that with this, which may bring in the underarm, the opening a little bit. So, this wool, this one really sheds, at least right now. They do that when they're young, when they're new. So I tried this on. I do like it. It's really soft. Watch my microphone. It's really soft, and that's one reason I like that. It's similar wool to the dark multicolored top I had that has the caplet sleeve. So that brings me to this idea, which is if you're knitting and you get used to working with certain yarns, you know how many stitches you want to cast on. My average is about 210. I would consider myself a medium. When I look for clothing to buy, I get a medium. So I would cast on 210 stitches and work my way up. And I then, with the decreasing and so forth, it tends to work out. Now, and then I know how far the measurement, and I'm thinking maybe my usual measurement is going to be 16 inches because I've decided I want a bit longer. And then 8 inches for the armhole and sewing up, and you have a top. There's something I was going to tell you, about this top. So this was actually a pattern, Knit Crow Addict, and I've knitted up 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 times. And I like this one. This is the, I love that cotton. Pretty sure that is. Isn't that funny when you knit something up and you don't remember what it was? I think I'm going to start keeping a little journal, like an actual pen and paper journal. So, but thing is, when you start with the back panel, you work your way up over the shoulders, and then you do this panel, get to the front, you cast on so many stitches, and you get down so far, and then you join the front and back, and then you can knit in the round. So this is kind of like from the top down. And I'm actually working on a pattern called the Soul Top, which will be in my subsequent video, my 3 tops 30 days. Gosh, that almost means like 10 days for one top. I might be able to do it. Anyways, what I found with this is it was too wide. I could probably undo this, it doesn't matter. And then I crocheted a little strand with the same material, and I just wove it in here so that I could tie it and bring it in. And that brings in the front a little bit, which is a kind of a neat idea because you want some width through the body, but you don't necessarily need it up around the neck, and you want to bring that in a little bit. So that's what I do with that. I'm always innovating or, changing, rearranging patterns. In fact, I find it difficult to follow a pattern. I have purchased 2, maybe 3 patterns in the last while. And I get so far and I'm like, I don't know what they're talking about. Or suddenly they switch to a chart and then I don't know, I can't figure out all the symbols in the chart or how to read the chart properly. I know if you're going this way and that way, but anyways, I just find the whole thing a little bit time consuming, and I just want to get into knitting and have fun. I don't want to have to be bothered with a lot of figuring out. I suppose it'll come in time when I learn a few things. I'll just get my current knitting. This is one of the ones I'm working on for 30 days, 3 tops. One of our viewers complimented me and said, thank you for making knitting simple or easy. And that's one of my goals. I just wanted to make it so that you know some basics and you can just start working your way on stuff, and you learn by doing that. And I would suggest sticking to similar types yarn. For example, I use a lot of, I love this cotton, picnic cotton, and merinos in a lightweight DK, and I use usually a number 6. In this case, I started with a 6 and I've gone to a number 7, and you can see that the stitching is quite nice even with the number 7. I'll bring that a bit closer. See, it's not too open, so it works. And if you find what works for you, even the idea of I think this kind of a sleeve or sleeveless is nice, especially when it's really hot and we're heading into a heat wave. But I know that a cap sleeve is probably a garment that's more complementary for me, for my style. And it's funny because when I wear a top that has a cap sleeve, I tend to get a lot more comments, not just because of the fabric I've used or, what I'm wearing, but this one, it is a little bit off the shoulder, not much. So when you get a lot of compliments on something, I think maybe it should suggest to you that you're doing something right. Also, I think the main thing is, how do you feel with it? Does it feel comfortable? Are you okay with it? Do you like it? Okay, so there's a number of things that I've knit up that I haven't liked. But you just chalk all that up to experience. You learn things about yourself. You learn things about your character. For example, how enduring you are, or patient, or innovative, creative, how much stick-to-itiveness you have. And you learn things about the wool that you're working with, the yarns, the needles that you're working with, and the projects that you're choosing. It's no fun choosing a product or pattern that you figure you're not going to use. And I'll show you the one that I recently purchased, and I realized after I purchased it, I said, why? Why did first of all, I can't read the pattern. I'm not sure what she's talking about. So eventually I might figure it out, especially if she puts up a tutorial. It's Kika Kutovia. I'll have to put a link up there. I'll show you the pattern. The other thing is, it's a V, and I don't really suit V's. I don't buy anything usually with a V neck, unless I have no choice. I bought a t-shirt with a V-neck because I like the color of the pink in the t-shirt, and I needed a new t-shirt. So I'm thinking now, why did I buy that pattern? I know why I bought it. Because she influenced me in a very subtle, gentle way. Look, here's the new pattern I've got out, and it's free. And whenever I hear free, I'm like, okay, let's get one. No, that one wasn't free. There was another one. The bubblegum sweater was free. So I paid for the pattern because I thought, I want to know how she was putting that top together. What did she do to make it? And I think I was also just basically intrigued by the style where it's a knit from the bottom and you go up to the underarms, just like I've been doing on these tops, and you decrease, but you also start decreasing for that V-neck effect. But there is she calls it a baby waves. There's a pattern that she uses, which looks like cabling, is not cabling, I don't think. I don't know. I haven't figured out the pattern yet. Anyways, okay. So if you have knit or purchased a pattern and tried knitting it and then said, that's it, I wasted my money, try not to think of it that way. Try to think of it as you're learning something. There's always something that you can gain from the patterns you've purchased, even if it's just going back and figuring out how much space do they use for each of the armholes in each of these patterns, so that you can do this comparison. I do that a lot. But my nature is fairly analytical. So if you want me to do it for you, just let me know. I can offer that service for free. Anyways, we're heading into a heat wave. I'm also working on a video for my camping channel, and I will be camping this weekend, and it's a perfect time because apparently the place we're going to, there's a beach and water, and so we can swim or sit on the beach and find some shade. I don't think it'll be a good time for hiking because it's just going to be too hot. But yay for the heat. Okay, so I hope you're having a good time where you are and enjoying your weekend and enjoying your knitting. Cheers, everybody.